If variety is the spice of life, you'll love A1A through Greater Fort Lauderdale. Florida A1A crosses 11 different counties on Florida's East Coast. In Part 1, we started in Miami-Dade. In this, Part 2 of our A1A series, we cross into Broward County, showing Greater Fort Lauderdale. Here, A1A travels 32 miles from Hallandale Beach to Deerfield Beach, through 9 different beach communities with a variety of recreational activities, from swimming to snorkeling the Florida Reef, fishing, boat tours along the Intracoastal Waterway, and hiking at its recreational state parks, with everything from high-rise resorts to sites of sea turtle nests and gorgeous pelicans perched on its piers and waves crashing its shoreline. You'll see why they call this the Gold Coast as we begin in Hallandale Beach, then north to Hollywood Beach, showing you the Broadwalk, a 2.5-mile promenade. Here, A1A runs along the Stranahan River to some of the best nature areas of Broward County, to the more relaxed Dania Beach. Then A1A cuts inland to rejoin the coastline again at Fort Lauderdale Beach, where we bike along the strip, showing you all the eateries, the beach, and the impressive high-rise condos with elevated pool decks. We explore Hugh Birch State Park. The high-rises disappear at Lauderdale-By-The-Sea, a charming sea village. From there, we move north to one of the cleanest beaches on the Gold Coast, Pompano Beach, with a nice modern pier. Moving north, we explore the Hillsboro Inlet, which connects the Intracoastal Waterway with the Atlantic Ocean. We then end our tour at Deerfield Beach. So join us as we continue along Florida State Route A1A, the Intracoastal, the Atlantic, and the beaches of Broward County. From Miami-Dade County, we enter Broward County at Hallandale Beach. This part of the coastline is mostly high-rises. About the only public beach parking lot is at South City Beach Park. A nice park area with picnic pavilions, showers, restrooms, ADA crossovers. With the high-rises, much of your beach becomes shaded around 2 to 3 p.m. There's also a playground, 2 bocce ball courts, and Cafe Cita with healthy as well as comfort food. On the 4th Sunday of each month from December to April, they have the Beach Entertainment Series with local musicians. Just a quarter of a mile north of South City Beach Park is North City Beach Park. There is a parking garage here. This is where the beach water tower is at for pictures. On the north side of the water tower is the Hyde Resort and Residences. On the south side is the Beach Club Hallandale. Now in Hollywood Beach city limits, the Diplomat Resort, one of the newer resorts built in 2017. The condos continue for the south part of Hollywood Beach, but disappear before the Broadwalk area. The Stranahan River on the left. Hollywood Boulevard ends at Hollywood Beach Resort. There is also the Ocean Walk Mall that is within the resort, with shopping, eateries, and water sport and bike rentals. The south end of the Broadwalk is about 8 blocks south of the Hollywood Beach Resort, but really the shops and eateries for the most part begin here. With no high-rises along the Broadwalk on the beach area here, you get plenty of sun. There's Grumpy Gary's with seafood, tacos, and macaroni plates. A little ways down from Grumpy Gary's is Logan's Beach Bar, and next to it, the Red Pelican Bar and Hookah Lounge. This Broadwalk is technically 2.5 miles long, but when you combine it with the paved trail at North Hollywood Beach Park, it is really 3 miles long. On the right, on the beach side, some fitness bars and a volleyball court. On the left, Mamacita's, a casual cantina with Mexican and Cuban food. Next to Mamacita's, La Terrace Oceanfront Hotel with a sun deck overlooking the beach. Below the sun deck is a good Peruvian restaurant called 7 Tables on the Beach. At the next building is Istanbul Restaurant, which serves Turkish cuisine. Moving further up the Broadwalk, at Indiana Street is the Häagen-Dazs ice cream shop, and next to that, the Ocean Alley Restaurant and Beach Bar with diner-style breakfast and seafood lunch and dinner. For traditional Italian food, there's the Venice Restaurant. Where the blue umbrellas are at is the Margaritaville Resort, but let's show you the Intracoastal side. There is the La Tub Saloon, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere bar and grill, where there's live entertainment. They also have paddleboard and kayak rentals here. You can also board the Fort Lauderdale water taxi here. An all-day pass is $35 for adults and $15 children 5 to 11. Within the Margaritaville Resort, there's several restaurants. The JWB Prime Steak and Seafood, Florida's Tacos and Ritas, the Land Shark Grill, and Lone Palm Beach Bar. Also a Margaritaville coffee shop. There are 2 huge pools to chill out in. And the Flow Rida to test your surfing skills. Next to the Margaritaville Resort, the outdoor Hollywood Beach Theater for live music. North of that is Nick's Bar and Grill at Minnesota Street with seafood and live music. Next to Nick's, Diane's Oceanfront Motel. Across the street, the Broadwalk Restaurant for pizza, pasta, and seafood. And Florio's of Little Italy for stone oven pizza. And next to that, between Garfield and Connecticut Street, is Charnow Park. There's paddleball courts, a large water fountain to play in, kids' playground. Got a little more wet than I thought I would at that water fountain. Alright, let's get back on A1A. There's a big public parking garage at Charnow Park on Garfield Street. There's also another parking garage a little ways down on Nebraska. The garages are $3 an hour Monday through Thursday or $4 an hour Friday through Sunday. Also a warning, if you try to park in one of the lots, thinking you are only going to be a few minutes, there's cameras, and you'll get a ticket in the mail. Happened to me twice. We now get into some of the nature areas of Hollywood Beach in Broward County. North Hollywood Beach Park is $10 per vehicle. After 2 p.m., $6. No dogs allowed here. However, there is Hollywood Dog Beach between Pershing Street and Custer Street, which you can park in as well, and a little lot on the Intracoastal side. This park has access to both the Atlantic Ocean on one side and the Intracoastal Waterway on the other side. The Broadwalk technically ends at the south edge of the park, but there's a paved trail that continues the length of the park, which adds a mile to the Broadwalk. On the opposite side of the Intracoastal is the Kolb Nature Center, which has nature walking trails, as well as paddling trails through coastal mangrove wetlands. There's an observation tower, an aquarium, and exhibit hall. It's only $1.50 per person, and $2 for the exhibit hall. Just north of Hollywood Beach is Dania Beach. It is $2 per hour at the Dania Beach Pier. They charge a minimum of $2 if paying by credit card, $1.50 for sightseeing on the pier, or $4 for fishing. At the pier is the quarterdeck restaurant for dining right on the Atlantic Ocean. This is a good beach, usually a little more quiet, less crowded here than further south. You'll find more nature, more birds. Here, A1A cuts inland, goes over the Stranahan River. There's a good restaurant here we showed in our Florida's Hollywood video, the Tiki with waterside dining right on the Stranahan River. There's also the Dania Beach Casino on the right. A1A joins back up with US Highway 1 as it moves north. We stayed at the La Quinta Fort Lauderdale Airport, which is close to I-95. A really nice La Quinta, very comfortable, modern room, pet-friendly, good grassy areas. It's about 15 minutes from Hollywood or Dania Beach. US 1 traveling north goes under the runways for the Hollywood Fort Lauderdale Airport. In Fort Lauderdale, it turns right at Southeast 17th Street to head back to the coast. We arrive on Fort Lauderdale Beach. Fort Lauderdale, considered the Venice of America with its canals. We are going to be showing the coastline in this video, but see our Fort Lauderdale travel guide where we show Los Olas Boulevard in downtown Fort Lauderdale. On the beach side, there's a large parking lot, open from 5 a.m. to 2 a.m. It's $4 per hour. Yes, a little on the expensive side, but it's very convenient, right next to the beach. On the beach, there's playgrounds, full restroom facilities, gorgeous palm trees line the beach area. And there's this area of oak trees that provides a lot of shade for picnics. Fort Lauderdale is just a gorgeous beach with turquoise waters. There's Calisthenics Park with fitness bars to get a good little workout under the palms. Also a basketball court. On the other side of A1A is Bahia Mar Marina, where you find many of your boat tours. Like the Jungle Queen Riverboat, a 90-minute sightseeing cruise is $31 for adults, $21 for children 3 to 12. They also have a 4-hour all-you-can-eat barbecue cruise in the evening, $72 for adults and $50 for children. We show many of the other boat tours in our Fort Lauderdale travel guide. Beginning at the south end of the Fort Lauderdale Strip, first on the left is Bo's Beach Restaurant, serving seafood and wood-fired dishes. Next is Bubble Gump Shrimp with sidewalk patio seating. 411 South, we ate at in the previous video, good food. Next is Bocacino Cafe and Pizzeria. Los Olas Oceanside Park, where you find live music on weekends in the evening. I'm feeling nice when I'm with you. Daily good vibes, that's how we do. The Elbow Room Beach Bar, a landmark, made famous in the 1960 film Where the Boys Are. That's how we do. Ooh, la, 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 la. There's the Saluna, a Pan-Asian festive eatery. Next to that, the Rock Bar, a multi-level nightclub with a day club pool. There's the Cafe Ibiza with Mediterranean seafood and pasta and regular live music. And the Drunken Taco, a lively Mexican joint with tacos, sandwiches, and lots of tequila. For some fine dining on A1A, there's Cafe Del Mar, a Mediterranean restaurant with Italian food and cocktails. It's located at the Los Olas Beach Club condo. There's a little tri-level mall that has several eateries with a skywalk to the beach. The skywalk separates North and South Fort Lauderdale Boulevard. On the left, the Ritz-Carlton. On the right, the Play Smart Playground. On the left, the Casablanca Cafe with a Mediterranean menu plus live piano music. You can rent jet skis here with Aloha Water Sports. At the Westin Fort Lauderdale, another skywalk. North of Bayshore Drive, you have 5 big resorts, all with elevated pool decks. First is the W Fort Lauderdale. All these resorts have loungers and umbrellas on the beach side. Next is the Hilton. Then there's the Four Seasons Resort in a classic yacht-style setting. There's the Conrad, which is also a Hilton hotel. And lastly, there's the Atlantic Hotel and Spa. On the west side of A1A is Hugh Taylor Birch State Park. This is a huge park. It's $6 per vehicle or $4 for a single occupant. This park gives you access to both the Atlantic and the Intracoastal, with a tunnel that leads to the beach. There's an Aloha Water Sports within the park, where you can rent paddleboards or wave runners. On a jet ski is a great way to see the Intracoastal. The Fort Lauderdale Dog Beach is across from the park on the north side at Rescue Tower 15. It is also in this area that you begin to see street parking along A1A. The high-rises disappear for a little ways on this part of the beach, but reappear at Lauderdale Beach, which is really the northern half of Fort Lauderdale Beach. Here the condos are along the beach side, instead of being across A1A from the beach. Then at Lauderdale-By-The-Sea, the high-rise condo resorts are replaced by smaller, cozy, 1- and 2-story motels, like the Blue Strawberry Motel on the right. The Anglins fishing pier here was cut in half by Hurricane Nicole in 2022. So in the meantime, there's this cool zip line between the sections of the pier. What a great idea. Oh, maybe you have to be a construction worker to ride it. Bummer. Lauderdale-by-the-Sea has a much different atmosphere than Fort Lauderdale, more small town, less corporatized. In the front of the pier is Anglins Square, a colorful beach pavilion area with Adirondack chairs, umbrellas, and boat benches. There's the Aruba Cafe with Caribbean dishes, tropical drinks, live music, and seating on both the square area and also right on the beach. At the base of the pier is Anglins Beach Cafe. On the street, there's the Even Keel Fish Shack. Vinny's with Neapolitan-style pizza, a raw bar, and cocktails. For good healthy food, there's Playa Bowls with smoothies, juices, as well as bowls. On the corner, there's Harrods by the Sea bar and restaurant with live music every day. 101 Ocean, a counter-serve eatery for seafood platters and pizza, and Taco Craft, a trendy Mexican eatery. Next, we move on to one of the nicest beaches on the Gold Coast, Pompano Beach. One of the super nice things about Pompano Beach is this very well maintained linear green space that runs along the beach for a half a mile. It's a mixture of real grass and some artificial turf here and there, covered with a mixture of palm trees and oak trees that provide a lot of shade. A nice modern playground and workout station. The city does a great job at keeping this beach recreational area very clean. Take note, California beaches. At the pier is the Lucky Fish, in a tiki bar setting, serves breakfast as well as pub grub. Across the street, a BurgerFi. You can see the Hillsboro Lighthouse 2 miles in the distance there. Paddleboards and jet skis available from American Water Sports. This Fisher Family Pier, I think, is the nicest pier on the East Coast, and it's free to walk for sightseeing, or $6 to fish. There's shaded areas with benches. The pier is 900 feet in length, the end of the pier shaped in the head of a pompano fish, with the eye of the fish being an opening to view sea life under the pier. The pelicans seem to like the pier as well. They are just very tame here. You can walk right up to them. For parking, there's a big lot just south of the pier. It's $2.25 per hour. You pay at the meter or through the Passport parking app. Just a couple miles north of the pier is the Hillsboro Inlet, a gorgeous park on the south side of the inlet, just across from the lighthouse. Parking is $1.80 per hour and can be booked through the Parkopedia app. There's a really small lighthouse museum here. The Hillsboro Lighthouse is only open about 12 times a year if you want to climb it. And admission is $35 for adults, $25 for children 11 and under. You must be at least 48 inches tall and wear closed-toed shoes. There are 175 steps on a spiral staircase. See LighthouseScenicTours.com for more info. The Hillsboro Inlet connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Intracoastal Waterway. A1A continues along the Intracoastal Waterway on the Barrier Island through Hillsboro Beach, Florida, which is mostly residential. Part of this is called the Hillsboro Mile, although it's actually 3.2 miles, called so for the luxury real estate of millionaire homes, some of the most high-end property of South Florida. We arrive at our last beach community on the far northern end of Broward County, the town of Deerfield Beach. Like Pompano Beach, Deerfield Beach also has a nice long linear park. Not as wide as Pompano Beach, but still nice. And there's ADA crossovers. There's a big lot across the street. Parking is $3 an hour weekdays, $4 an hour weekends, payable through Parkopedia. Some little jetties and wooden decks on the south end of the beach. Across the street is the Wyndham Beach Resort, which is pet-friendly with a $50 per night pet fee. Here is the patio bar and grill at the Wyndham. On the pier is the Deerfield Beach Cafe. Like Anglins Pier in Lauderdale-By-The-Sea, this pier was also damaged by Hurricane Nicole, although 2/3 of the pier has been repaired. But the pavilion and the T section at the end remains closed. Deerfield Beach and Pompano Beach are a great complement to each other. Whereas Pompano Beach might have a nicer pier and areas right around the pier, Deerfield Beach has more going on with eateries and hangouts a block from the pier on Ocean Drive. On the left, there's another Playa Bowls here, on the first floor of this parking garage. Barracuda Seafood and Grill that we featured in our previous video here. And Brew's Room Bar and Grill, a sports bar. On the corner is Island Water Sports, a surf shop where you can rent scooters, paddleboards, surfboards, and e-bikes. A couple of blocks from here is Vista El Mar, another pet-friendly resort we featured in our Pompano and Deerfield Beach travel guide. On the right, Amante's Italian restaurant. On the left is the Whale's Rib, a seafood restaurant that was featured in Diners, Drive-In, and Dives. And on the corner, Flanagan's Seafood Bar and Grill. Next to that, a Peruvian eatery, Picara, and the Kahuna Bar and Grill with fish tacos. Also, just over the Intracoastal, a mile from the beach, a big shopping center, the Hillsboro Square, with a good French restaurant, La Val de l'Or, and for some really good New York-style pizza, there's Patrizia's. I picked up some pad thai at the Thai Sushi Express here. In Deerfield Beach, I stayed at the La Quinta Deerfield Beach. It's an older La Quinta, but the advantage is you can park right next to your room. As A1A moves north of Deerfield Beach is Palm Beach County that we will feature in part 3 of our A1A series as we go from Boca Raton to Jupiter. For more of the inland areas of these beach towns, I'd recommend seeing our travel guides of Florida's Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, and Pompano and Deerfield Beach, small town beaches with big city access. So what's your favorite beach of Broward County? I'd love to hear your thoughts. We are Tampa Aerial Media. We film travel promos across the USA. For stock footage, or if you would like to hire us to film your city, area, or resort, contact us at info@tampaaerialmedia.com. From the Gold Coast, I wish blessings to you, wherever you may be.